What's up, everyone? We've got a whole new reaction for you guys today. And I know it may sound crazy, but you guys know I only react to things that I've never heard on this channel or anything that I've heard. I'm not one of those people that lie and say first time hearing Britney Spears. Like, be serious. It's not the first time you're listening to Britney Spears. But today, this request comes from Sam. So thank you so much, Sam. As always, you are a big supporter of the channel, and I appreciate you. Today, we've got Bob Dylan, Masters of War. Now, this is a link that was provided to me. I will be turning captions on because I think it's just the audio, just so we can follow along better for those that are visual learners out there like me. I've never heard, I know of Bob Dylan, but I've never heard a Bob Dylan song. I don't know what genre this is, just that it's like older. And honestly, like the most like old thing I can think of that I listen to that's old is like Kansas. I love freaking Kansas. Oh my God. I love Kansas. Pat Benatar. I'm a huge Pat Benatar fan. Ace of Base, those kind of like that kind of music. I love from like that era. For me, Bob Dylan, I don't even know what era or year. I don't listen to Pink Floyd. I don't listen to none of that. So today is a whole new reaction. Bob Dylan, Masters of War. I was told that he's like what modern day, what we have now was back then Bob Dylan. So I'm excited. Anyone that mentioned Ren, I was like, okay, so he must be telling us some good stuff in his songs. And there's only one way to find out, and that's to press play. So without any further ado, Bob Dylan, Masters of War. Let's get it.
Come, you masters of war, you that build the big guns,
Okay.
you that build the death planes, you that build all the bombs, you that hide behind walls, you that hide behind discs.
Ooh.
I just don't want you to know I can see through your masks.
Okay, already I'm loving like the mountain music vibes that we're getting with just the guitar. Okay, let's talk about the story that he's telling. Masters of War, it kind of just hit me right now. Like with the moment actually when he was talking, it kind of I got it. He's talking about the people that are in our government and other governments. They sit behind the desk, they hide behind their walls, and they are literally instigating war. They build all the nuclear weapons. We build all the weapons of mass destruction to end one another. And the only reason we are is because of those that are in charge is sending the pawns essentially to go fight for something in the name of oil, territory, the same old thing over and over again. We will deep dive in the end. We always deep dive in the lyrics, but so far I am enticed. I love his voice actually. I love just the guitar. This is a vibe. This is a vibe. Okay.
You that never done nothing
Okay.
but build to destroy. You play with my world like it's your little toy. You put a gun in my hand and you hide from my eyes, and you turn and run farther when the fast bullets fly.
Ooh.
Like Judas of old, you lie and deceive. A world war can be won. You want me to believe,
Woohoo.
but I see through your eyes, and I see through your brain, like I see through the water that runs down my drain. You fasten all the triggers for the others to fire, and then you sit back and watch when the death count gets higher. You hide.
How is this? This is like the blueprint to everything that's happening, not just current day, but in the past, and I know in the future. This is the blueprint right here. This is exactly the same thing that we see in every government around the world over and over and over again, and nothing changes. And again, I'm trying to hold this all into the end, but showing how transparent, like, you know, the world leaders are. Like, when I mean transparent, as in they're not transparent. Like, we see through your actions, we see what you're doing, and there's really nothing we can do about it. But we see you and we know what you're doing. And many of us are starting to wake up and not fall for this kind of stuff anymore. So, again, I'll save it to the end, but this is literally the blueprint of everything that's been happening in past, current day, and future. I know it because people simply won't wake up. It's just the reality of it. But Bob Dylan here, this is my first impression of you. I see you. I see you. Okay.
Death count gets higher. You hide in your mansion while the young people's blood flows out of their bodies and is buried in the mud. You've thrown the worst fear that can ever be hurled. Fear to bring children into the world.
Right now. Oh my
For
God.
threatening my baby, unborn and unnamed. You ain't worth the blood that runs in your veins. How much do I know? To talk out of turn. You might say that I'm young. You might say I'm unlearned. But there's a one thing I know. I'm younger than you. Even Jesus would never forgive what you do. Let me ask you one question. Is your money that good? Will it buy you forgiveness? Do you think that it could? I think you will find when your death takes its toll, all the money you made will never buy back your soul.
I have actual goosebumps, you guys. Actual freaking goosebumps. I'm shaking my leg. Let me tell you, this is a campfire song. This is totally, you get your nice glass of whiskey or whatever, tequila, whatever you may have you. I'm having a nice drink by a campfire, listening to this. And then we're not only learning, okay? We're not only learning, we're sitting here and we're talking about like the campfire conversations. You guys know when you have a campfire and good people around you, you get into these deep conversations. He is literally introduced. It's a perfect setting. Campfire, good people around, getting into these deep conversations that no one else wants to talk about. That's the beauty of life. That's my favorite thing to do, is just sit back with people and talk about stuff that's not small talk. I hate small talk, not surface level. Get in. And this is with Bob Dylan. This is it. This is my new thing. So next time I'm around a freaking fire pit, I'm playing Bob Dylan. Whether my friends like it or not, we're talking about it. I have so much I'm going to say, but the buy back your soul, the goosebumps I got, politicians will literally sit there and say, God bless America, God bless this, God bless that, Jesus this, Jesus that, while they actively sit back, like Bob Dylan was saying, and watching everybody get slaughtered. They're leading the sheep to get slaughtered. And they still sit there and they say, God bless it, God this, God that. You know, it's kind of like when people online are so mean and they say mean things, and then you click on their bio and it's like some Bible verse in their bio under their picture. Okay, eye roll. It's always those kind of people that are literally just being so mean. They literally praise God, and no amount of money will buy back your soul. None. Once it's gone, there is no getting it back. Your soul should not be up for sale. And yet so many people are, and I can't wait to literally talk about this. But no, no amount of money they think it cannot. That is once it's gone, you cannot get it back. I'm a firm believer. I'm gonna stand my ground on that. I can't wait. This is so exciting.
And I hope that you die. And your death will come soon. I follow your casket by the pale afternoon. And I watch while you're lowered down to your deathbed. And I stand over your grave till I'm sure that you're dead.
Don't tell me it's over. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, that may have been my favorite thing I've heard in a minute. I know I say that a lot on this channel. Ow, I just broke my knee. I know I say that a lot, but you guys know if you watch my Ren or any of the topics that like this kind of stuff, these kind of topics about real world and like seeing through, you know, what the world is trying to portray through propaganda. This is the kind of conversations I can go on for hours. It excites me. It moves me. It's exciting. Bob Dylan on the freaking nose. You're giving up too much. Like, if people don't understand, if Bob Dylan's around, then how have none of the population woke up? This guy has a huge following, no? So, like, how have the masses not seen through what he's talking about? Let's break it down. Talking about the mansions. All right, let's talk about war real quick, okay? It's funny because war is always started in the name of territory, retaliation, minerals, oil. Main, those are like the main. All right, there's a lot, but the retaliation is huge, right? They stir up everyone's emotions to portray someone to be a bad guy. Are they really bad? Those things can be argued. You know, what we consider bad, truly what has someone done, or did someone else do it and pin it on another country so we can justify going to war, right? That kind of stuff. They build the weapons of mass destruction, and then they complain about other governments having the weapons of mass destruction. Well, why is it okay for one nation to have it and not the other? Why is it okay? We shouldn't even have freaking nukes. Let's just say nukes, for example, anywhere. It should have never been made. Sadly, it is. Man makes bomb, and yet only the nations that think that they should have it, and then there's others that say, well, you shouldn't have it. Well, you sit there and you make it, and then we start a war based on the fact that I can have this nuclear weapon and you can't. Who pays the price between these governments being so cocky and showing off who's got the bigger nuke? Citizens die at the hands of our government in the name of what exactly? For weapons? For, oh, if we don't do this, then they're going to do this. It's always the people in our government. They sit back, like he said, in our office, in their mansion, and they just enjoy their life while people are just getting slaughtered because they don't care about the death toll. They truly don't. Okay? And I'm not here to bring politics into it because I am truly a firm believer in that there is no side of politics that's pure, that's innocent, and that actually wants to put the people first. I believe the government is truly made to enslave its people. And I mean this across the goddamn board, across the world. We are literally governed by a few, and they fearmonger us, and they paint this picture of other nations being so bad so we can justify the means. Is there any justification for how many people get slaughtered around this world? I don't actually think so. I think the real war comes from within, and I'm tired of everyone picking a side about wars and stuff when wars shouldn't be happening. It's literally made by our governments arguing and bickering, and yet the people like us pay the freaking price, and that's not fair. This world is truly not fair. They sit back in their mansions, they gather their money, because we all know war brings a lot of money. Private companies, they shell out all this money for weaponry. Well, they wouldn't get the money if there was no war, because who's going to buy the weapons? War funds the elite's lifestyle, okay? It does. It really does. So then these private companies go and they all say it's oil. Do you am really supposed to believe that we're literally fighting here over oil? Is that really what they think people are said to believe? And then they make this justification of like, oh, someone striked first over here, while the men behind the scenes, and I mean men, like man and woman, I don't care. I'm not trying to be like whatever, it doesn't matter. Behind the scenes is the one pulling the strings to create these attacks. You know, so many things that we see on TV is literally altered. They will make fake scenarios, and I don't mean fake, like they actually do happen. My point is, it'll be like our own. I'm trying not to get demonetized here, okay? I'm trying not to get demonetized. Okay, so let's just say this. I'm going to use it in a way, all right? Let's say I'm fighting with my sister, right? I'm just mad at her. I don't like my sister. Let's just say I don't like my sister, and I want my parents to get her in trouble, and they start fighting. Instead of my sister actually hitting me, I am going to do something to get my sister so angry and hit me first. Okay? Therefore, my parent would say, whoa, look, she's retaliating. There should be punishment. When in reality, I was the one that stirred it up first. I'm the one that made her this mad to hit me. And I'm using that fuel to paint this picture of my sister so that my parents can punish her. When the real person that should be punished is the one that started it. Does that make sense? In a state of war, they do this. They absolutely do this. And it's all for money. People are money to these people. You are a monetary item. So when the death toll goes up, the justification goes up. We must retaliate and we must fight. We must protect. How many times you hear that word? Protect, retaliate, defend. It's like always the things in war. It's like the same word salad they throw at us over and over again. But is it the citizens? No. The citizens are fighting other citizens when it's really the governments who are sitting behind in their cush positions, telling them to press a button and, send soldiers here, send soldiers there. They're not the ones that are actually in the combat. It's the citizens that pay the price. These people have families. These people have lives. And it all dies for what? Because people in our suits in their cushy mansions and them can't get along. And maybe they don't get along on purpose so that they can get the money so that they can have a better life while it's stepped all over and drenched in blood and souls. Okay? Yes, I love this. Also, want to talk about the fact that we were talking about selling your soul. Yes, I do think that a lot of these politicians, if not all, they sell it for some item. I do think that you have to sell out to get what you want. And it's sad because the money only goes to a certain amount of people in our world, and they had to do something in exchange for that money. You cannot tell me that they organically were put there. They literally fearmonger and they want to start the war because they too profit off of it over their agenda. Yep. And it sickens me. And it sickens me that people fall for this. And instead of we have citizens fighting each other because they're picking sides over this and that, rather than why don't we come together and see that we're all being played right now? Like, how do you not see that? Instead, it's you believe in this, you voted for this, I hate you. They're literally stoking the fire. Exactly what they're doing internationally to start wars, they're doing here at Ground Zero, and they're doing that, and you all are falling for it. And it pisses me off that people are not smart enough to wake up and see through it. Bob, I see you. Yeah, you can't get your soul back. It's just like Judas, right? He stabbed Jesus in the back for 30 freaking coins. And where did that get him? Where did that get him? You can't get that back. I'm a really believer that no amount of money in this world will get your soul back once it's gone. I don't think there's a way. Like, that's it. You've made your bed. I'm with Dylan. I'll be there when they bury you to make sure you're gone. I totally get that sentiment. We've been too much on this forgiveness path. I'm tired of it. We can't be forgiving actions, and because money just doesn't buy you your retribution. Okay? It doesn't. And that's what another thing I want to talk about is how these people will sell out for money. When we die, we all go in the same size casket. Money doesn't go with you in the afterlife. In whether or not you believe or not in the afterlife, the truth is money ain't going with you. We all die in the same casket. So your mansion and the lives that you've taken meant nothing to you for this piece of paper that you're not going to take anywhere. You may have an easier life here, but trust me, every dog has its day, and there will be a punishment for that, because it's not fair. The world truly isn't fair that there's innocent lives being taken to fulfill the pockets of those in charge. It does not sit well with me. I hate it. It really aggravates me. So that money's not going anywhere. So you do this for a comfortable life. Well, guess what? We're only on here for a short couple years, really. On retrospect, we're not here for very long. So you do all this, and then you expect people to be like supporting you. That's what they do. We wave our flags. Every war, we sit there, we say we won. They wave their flags. Whoever wins a whatever war, they wave their flags. But who truly wins? You? No. How many people died for that flag? And they wave and they say, yes, we'll die for this. When in reality, they create the pride. They create pride through these wars that they engineer themselves. So you have this false sense of victory. That's why. And this is not, I love our military, and I thank every vet. If I see one at the airport, it doesn't matter when, I always thank him. This is not taking a crap by any means for people in our military, that people who have fought and given their life for our flag. I am not in any way dissing that. I want to make myself very clear. You know, this country has given my family an opportunity being immigrants. So it's given us an opportunity to thrive. Where they came from, it was not good. So they came to a place and made the American dream happen. I am thankful to be here. I am in no way dissing that. Okay. I do want to make myself clear. I am saying we, the people, should not be falling for propaganda that our government creates. They create the problem so that they can create the solution and look like the winners. And I'm not just talking about America, I'm talking international. Every government is guilty of doing this. And to deny that and to believe otherwise, I think would be have a blindfolded response to that. That's what I mean. We're getting in it, guys. We're getting in it. So I loved everything that Bob Dylan said. This was a blueprint, like I mentioned earlier, of things that happened in the past, current, and future. This is what's going to happen, and nothing will ever change. We will still find a way to be mad at somebody's government, and instead of them coming out of their offices and going fighting each other, it'll always be the blood of the innocent that is shed. Nothing changes. Someone will always be the bad guy, someone will always be the hero, and martyrs will always be involved. That's the nature of it, and it's just this loop that we're stuck in, and I really wish it wasn't that way. But it's just sad, because it's like everyone is guilty of doing this, and I wish there could be something as world peace, but we know that will never happen. Our politicians are truly corrupt. They don't care about us, so why do we still fall for it? We know that they don't care about us, and yet we still fall for this over and over again, and people will still die. It's very sad. I loved everything about this. This is a song that gets you thinking. This was a truth telling. I can see the resemblance to Ren now. I can see that. It's telling real life stuff. And I don't know how old this is. But the fact is, it's still relevant today, and it still will be relevant for the future. What did you guys think? Okay, I want to know what you guys thought. Sorry for rambling too much. I get passionate about these kind of things. I'm not trying to make it political or anything, because I can see through, like Bob Dylan said, water through his drain. I can see through it. I think we need to treat each other better and start holding people accountable and stop falling for the BS that we see. Stop watching the goddamn news. Please stop watching the news. The real villains are the people that are engineering our division in our society, and I wish more people would wake up to that. Let me know what you guys thought about this. What Bob Dylan song should I react to next? This is my first one, and I was blown away. I loved his voice. We all listened. This was the classroom. We all sat and we listened. And I want to know, honestly, your honest opinion. Do you agree with me? Counter me? I'm all for everyone's opinion to be thrown in here. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to block you for having a different opinion. I genuinely want to know. All right, y'all. With that being said, if you haven't already, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all back here on the next one.